Jai Swaminarayan. Akshamurti Sadguru Gunatitanand Swami so often used to say that it is through Santo that we, as Gruhastha followers of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, can obtain the proper resources to become Brahmarup and achieve true faith in Maharaj. So often did he used to exemplify the immense influence that Santo have and the incredible crucial role that Santo have in our moksha. But I think we have to be a little bit careful here. We have to be conscientious of the types of tyagi that we surround ourselves by and bond with. We have to ensure that the Santo that we seek out and learn from are Santo who properly follow all aspects of Tyagashram, which is a life of Vairagya, or detachment from all material desire and objects. So the natural question at this point, I think, is how can we identify such Santo in a quick and accurate manner? Well, one way is to look at the Panch Vartman, or the 5 vows that Santo must follow. These Panch Vartman were given by Swaminarayan Bhagwan himself. To outline our discussion, firstly, I think I will list each of the Panch Vartman. The first one is Nishkam, detachment from desire and women. The second one is Nirlobh, detachment from money, or in other words, the absence of greed. The third one is Nisne, detachment from any places or people, which entails giving up all familial ties. The fourth one is Nisvad, or detachment from taste. And finally, we have Niriman, the absence of any ego and upholding the utmost humility. So now that we know what each of the Tyagina Panchvartman are, let's take a look at what each of these 5 rules look like in practice. Let's begin with the first one. So, as I had mentioned, the first of the 5 principles that a Sant of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya must adhere to is Nishkam. Well, Nishkam simply means detachment from desire, but more specifically, detachment from women. In upholding this principle, a Swaminarayan sadhu must never look at a woman, much less speak to or touch them. Now, the reasoning behind this is that in order to maintain determination and faith in Tyagashram, something that's very difficult to do, a Tyagi has to remove him or herself from any and all distractions that can lead them astray from the path of detachment. So now that we have the first one down, let's take a look at the second one. The second rule that a Sant of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya must follow is Nirlobh. This is simply detachment from money and ensuring a lack of greed. Or, in other words, a sadhu of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya should not have a desire to gain or collect money. And in following this rule, a Sant can never touch money or gold. Furthermore, he can't amass any possessions directly or indirectly. So, with that, let's move to the third one. The third rule is that a Sant of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya must follow what is known as Nisne. So, Nisne is a detachment from any places or people. But most importantly, this entails the giving up of all familial ties. So, when a sadhu takes his diksha or becomes initiated as a Sant of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, he is required to cut all familial ties, and he can never look at or even interact with his previous family members. Furthermore, a Sant cannot return to his hometown. Swaminarayan Bhagwan has put this rule into place so that our Santo don't remember their old lives, which allows them to maintain full focus on Swaminarayan Bhagwan's mission and spreading satsang, all the while leading a life of Vairagya. So we've covered the first, second, and third, so naturally, let's move to the fourth rule. And the fourth rule that our Santo must follow is known as Nisvad. So Nisvad is simply detachment from tasty foods. And under this vow, a Swaminarayan sadhu will only eat once per day. Unless, of course, their work or schedule is busy, in which case they can eat more than once per day because health is of utmost priority. So when they do eat, they will place all of the items they wish to eat in one bowl. And this is known as a pattar. They will mix water with the food so they can remove the taste from the food, and then they will eat. And when they do eat, it's simply for nourishment, nothing more. Furthermore, Swaminarayan Santo cannot eat at the hands of Gruhastha followers. Rather, they can only eat food that has been prepared by another sadhu or a Brahmin. So the fifth rule that our Swaminarayan Santo must follow is known as Niriman. So Niriman entails upholding a sense of humility and ensuring that no ego is developed and avoiding a feeling of I-ness. In upholding this virtue, Swaminarayan Santo must never brag about any of their accomplishments or have an egoistic mindset. So I'm sure you have noticed a common theme so far, and that's detachment. You have to see that the life of a Swaminarayan Sant it's a life of simplicity and detachment. They live their lives for Bhagwan and Bhagwan's mission, nothing more than that. This is the best way to determine if you have come into the contact of a true Sant. If you look at all of the Santo of the Swaminarayan Gurukul, you will see incredible compassion, humility, and divinity within each and every sadhu. Take for example Guru Maharaj Shri Dev Krishna Das Ji Swamiji, who is the head of the Swaminarayan Gurukul Rajkot Sansthan. He is an incredibly divine and rare Sant. He possesses so much power and holiness that we are unable to fully comprehend it. But, he still maintains an incredibly low-profile lifestyle. He never asks for anything, or he never requires any recognition. No. In fact, he doesn't even wish to be photographed. And despite his old age, he still sleeps on nothing more than a very thin mat on the ground every night. When eating, he doesn't even use a table. He sits on the floor and eats from a pattar, just as all of the Santo in our Sansthan do. He lives his life for nothing more than Maharaj and carrying Maharaj's mission forward. And in his footsteps, all of our Sansthan's Santo follow without hesitation. Our Santo don't wear shoes, and instead they'll wear very uncomfortable slippers. Our Santo only have 2 pairs of dhoti and chadar, which are colored by mud. Our Santo never treat themselves as better than anyone else. They always put everyone else before themselves. I think that these are the true marks of a Sant, who, just as Aksharmurti Gunatitanand Swami says, can lead us to our moksha. Jai Swaminarayan.